Clara Whitmore stood in the middle of Black Ash Town with a rope in her shaking hands. The whole street had gone silent. Men stopped outside the saloon. Women stood near the store with their mouths open. Even the horses seemed to stop moving. Clara held the old rope higher. "This rope killed my father," she said. Her voice was not loud, but everyone heard it. Across the street, Judge Harlan Pike slowly stood up from his chair. He was an old man now, with white hair and a fine black coat. People respected him. They tipped their hats when he passed. They called him a good man. But when Clara lifted that rope, his face changed. His skin went pale. Beside him stood Sheriff Amos Bell, a heavy man with a silver badge on his chest. He tried to look calm, but Clara saw his fingers move toward his gun. Then Mayor Silas Crow stepped out of the bank. His smile was gone. 3 powerful men. 3 men who ruled Black Ash Town. And all 3 of them looked afraid of one young woman with an old rope. Clara's heart beat so hard it hurt her chest. She had come to this town for answers. Now she wondered if she would leave it alive. But before Clara ever stood in that dusty street, before people whispered her name like it was trouble, before the rope made old men fear the past, she was just a grieving daughter standing inside her dead mother's cabin. It had started 3 days earlier. The morning after her mother was buried, Clara sat alone at the small wooden table. The cabin felt too quiet. Her mother's chair was empty. Her mother's sewing basket sat in the corner. Her mother's blue cup was still near the stove. Clara kept looking at that cup. She wanted to hear her mother's voice again, just once. "Don't forget to eat, Clara. Don't leave the lamp burning too long. Keep your chin up, child." But the cabin gave her nothing but silence. Clara was 20 years old, but that morning she felt like a little girl again. Her father had died when she was 6. At least, that was what she had been told. Her mother always said bandits killed him on the road while he was traveling for work. Clara barely remembered him. She remembered big hands, a soft laugh, a song he used to hum while fixing the fence, and one clear memory, her father lifting her onto his shoulders and saying, "No matter what folks say, Clara, you hold on to the truth. Truth may walk slow, but it always gets there." That was all she had left of him. Now her mother was gone too. Mr. Abel Green, the town lawyer, came by near noon. He was a thin man with kind eyes and a tired face. He took off his hat before entering. "Clara," he said softly, "your mother left a few things for you." Clara nodded. She expected papers for the cabin. Maybe her mother's wedding ring, maybe a family Bible, maybe one of her father's old tools. Mr. Green placed a folded note on the table. Then he looked down at the floor. "There is something hidden under the loose board near the bed," he said. Clara frowned. "Under the floor?" He nodded. "Your mother told me not to touch it. She said only you must open it after she passed." Clara's stomach tightened. She went to the bed and knelt down. Her fingers shook as she pushed at the floorboard. It lifted with a dry creak. Under it was a cloth bundle tied with string. The cloth was old and brown with dust. Clara pulled it out slowly. It was heavier than she expected. Mr. Green looked away, as if he already knew what was inside and did not want to see it again. Clara untied the string. The cloth fell open, and there it was, a hanging rope, old, thick, dark with age. Clara gasped and jumped back. "No," she whispered. "Why would she leave me this?" The rope lay on the floor like a dead snake. It had a loop at one end. The knot was hard and ugly. Clara had seen ropes before, but not like this. This was not for horses. This was not for pulling wagons. This rope had one purpose. It was made to end a life. Clara's eyes filled with tears. "My mother left me this?" she asked. Mr. Green's voice was low. "Read the note." Clara picked up the folded paper. Her mother's handwriting was weak, but Clara knew every curve of it. My dear Clara, I am sorry I kept this from you. I was afraid. Your father was not killed by bandits. What they told us was a lie. Clara stopped breathing. Her eyes moved faster. This rope came from Black Ash Town. Your father's name is on it. I begged him not to go there, but he said a man cannot run from truth. He never came home. Clara pressed a hand over her mouth. I hid this because I wanted you safe, but lies do not stay buried forever. If you choose to know the truth, go to Black Ash. Ask about Nathaniel Whitmore, but trust no man who smiles too quickly. Forgive me. Your loving mother. The room began to spin. Clara read the note again. Then again. Her father was not killed by bandits. Her mother had lied. Or maybe she had been forced to lie. Clara looked at the rope, but this time she did not step back. She leaned closer. Tied near the knot was a small wooden tag. It was blackened at the edges, like it had been held near fire. Clara picked it up. There were letters burned into the wood. At first, the words were hard to see. Then the light from the window touched the tag. Clara's blood ran cold. Nathaniel Whitmore, her father's name, burned into the wood, tied to a hanging rope. For a long moment, Clara could not move. She could only stare at the name. Her father had not just died. Someone had marked him. Someone had made sure his name stayed tied to shame. Mr. Green stood near the door. Clara, you do not have to go. She looked up at him. Yes, she said, I do. Black Ash is not a kind town. Was it kind to my father? The lawyer had no answer. Clara wrapped the rope again, but this time she did not touch it like it was evil. She touched it like it was proof. That night, she packed one small bag. She took her mother's note, a little money, a piece of bread, and the rope. She also took her father's old pocket knife from a box near the stove. Before leaving, she stood in the cabin doorway. The wind moved softly through the grass. I am sorry, Mama, she whispered, but I have to know. The ride to Black Ash took 2 days. The road was dry and lonely. Clara passed empty fields, broken fences, and hills that looked like sleeping animals. At night, she slept beside a small fire with the rope hidden under her coat. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw her father's name. Every time she opened them, she heard his old words. Truth may walk slow, but it always gets there. On the second evening, Clara saw Black Ash Town below the hill. It did not look like much. A dusty street, a saloon, a bank, a jailhouse, a church with a cracked bell. Old mine tracks ran behind the town like dead bones. But something about the place made her skin crawl. People watched her as she rode in, not curious, not friendly, careful. Like they knew strangers only brought trouble. Clara stopped at the general store. The storekeeper, a round woman named Mrs. Lottie, looked up from stacking canned peaches. You passing through? She asked. No, Clara said. I'm looking for the truth about a man named Nathaniel Whitmore. The woman's hand froze. One can slipped from the shelf and hit the floor. Clara saw fear in her eyes. I don't know that name, Mrs. Lottie said quickly. But Clara knew she was lying. Behind her, an old man sitting near the stove lowered his head. He whispered something Clara almost did not hear. Girl, bury what's already dead. Clara turned to him. Was my father dead when they buried his name too? The old man looked at her then. His eyes were wet. Before he could speak, the store door opened. Sheriff Amos Bell stepped inside. He looked at Clara's dusty dress, then at her bag. You lost? He asked. Clara stood straight. No, Sheriff. I think I just found the right place. His smile was slow and cold. Then be careful where you dig, he said. Some ground opens deeper than expected. That night, Clara rented a small room above the store. She locked the door, pushed a chair against it, and opened the rope bundle on the bed. The wooden tag stared back at her. Nathaniel Whitmore. Then Clara noticed something she had missed before. On the other side of the tag, burned much smaller, were 3 initials, HP, AB, SC. Clara's hands went cold. The next morning, she would learn those initials belonged to the 3 most powerful men in Black Ash. But what Clara did not yet know was that her father had not died begging for mercy. He had died protecting a secret those men still feared. The next morning, Clara woke before the sun was fully up. For a moment, she forgot where she was. Then she saw the rope on the small table. Her heart sank again. Black Ash Town was quiet outside her window, but it was not a peaceful kind of quiet. It felt like the town was holding its breath. The street below had only a few people walking. A man swept dust from the front of the saloon. 2 women hurried past the store without looking up. Somewhere far away, a dog barked once, then stopped. Clara picked up the wooden tag tied to the rope. She turned it over again. HPABSC. 3 small marks burned into the wood. 3 initials. And somehow, Clara knew they were not there by accident. She washed her face, tied her hair back, and went downstairs. Mrs. Lottie was already behind the counter. The woman looked tired, like she had not slept. When she saw Clara, her face tightened. "You should eat and leave," Mrs. Lottie said softly. "Take the morning road. Don't wait until noon." Clara stepped closer. "You know something about my father." Mrs. Lottie looked toward the door. "No, I don't." "Yes, you do." The older woman's hands began to shake as she folded a cloth that did not need folding. Clara lowered her voice. "Please, my mother died with this fear in her heart. She carried it for years. I need to know why." Mrs. Lottie closed her eyes for a second. When she opened them again, they were wet. "I was young when it happened," she whispered. "You were only a child then. Your father came here asking questions about money missing from the mine payroll." Clara frowned. "Mine payroll?" Mrs. Lottie nodded. "Black Ash used to be a rich mining town. Silver came out of those hills. Men worked hard, and every month, payroll money came in by stagecoach. Then one day, a whole payroll vanished. People said your father stole it. My father would never steal. That is what some of us thought too." Clara leaned on the counter. "Then why was he hanged?" Mrs. Lottie looked even more afraid. "Because 3 men said he was guilty." Clara's body went still. "Judge Harlan Pike," Mrs. Lottie whispered, "Sheriff Amos Bell, and Silas Crow, who was not mayor then, but he owned the bank records. HPABSC." Clara felt the blood leave her face. "The initials," she whispered. Mrs. Lottie nodded, but she quickly raised one finger to her lips. "Do not say that too loud." Clara pulled the folded rope cloth from her bag and showed the tag. Mrs. Lottie stepped back, like the thing might bite her. "You brought it here? It was under my mother's floor. Oh, child." Mrs. Lottie's voice broke. "Then your mother was braver than anyone knew." Clara stared at her. "What happened the day my father died?" Mrs. Lottie looked toward the window again. The street was empty, but fear still sat in her eyes. "They hanged him at noon," she said, "right outside the old mine office. They said it was justice. They said he robbed honest workers. The crowd was angry. Men had not been paid. Families had no food. People wanted someone to blame." Clara felt tears burning behind her eyes. "And my father, he kept saying he was innocent," Mrs. Lottie said. "He said he had proof. He said the real thieves were standing in front of him." Clara grabbed the counter to steady herself. "What proof?" "I don't know. Someone must know." Mrs. Lottie looked down. "One man might. His name is Eli Boone. He was the blacksmith then. He helped build the gallows." Clara flinched at the word. "Where is he?" "Edge of town. Small shack near the dry creek." "But Clara..." Mrs. Lottie reached out and held her wrist. "Eli drinks. He talks to ghosts. People say his mind is broken. And if Bell sees you going there, he will know what you are doing." Clara's jaw tightened. Then I will go before Bell sees me. But when Clara stepped out of the store, Sheriff Amos Bell was already across the street. He was watching her. He leaned against the jailhouse post with his thumbs in his belt. His badge flashed in the morning sun. He smiled, but it was not warm. "Morning, Miss Whitmore," he called. Clara froze. He knew her name. She had not told him. That meant the town was already talking. Clara forced herself to walk like she was not afraid. "Morning, Sheriff. Sleep well?" "Well enough." He walked toward her slowly. "Funny thing," he said. "Most young ladies don't ride into town asking about dead men." Most young ladies were not lied to about their father. His smile faded just a little. Your father was no saint. Clara felt anger rise hot in her chest. "You knew him?" "I knew enough." "Then you know he did not steal that money." Bell stepped closer. His voice dropped. "Girl, your father had a rope around his neck because a judge said he deserved one. That is all you need to know." Clara's hands curled into fists. "No," she said. "That is all you want me to know." For a second, something ugly flashed in the sheriff's eyes. Then he laughed. "You got fire in you. That can be good, or it can burn you alive." Clara did not answer. She walked past him. Every step felt like she was walking with a gun pointed at her back. She did not look behind her until she reached the road near the dry creek. Eli Boone's shack stood away from the town, half hidden by dead trees. It leaned to one side. Old horseshoes hung on the wall. Broken tools were scattered in the dirt. Clara knocked. No answer. She knocked again. A rough voice came from inside. "Go away. I need to speak with Eli Boone." Silence. Then the door opened a crack. An old man looked out. His beard was long and grey. His eyes were red, but not empty. They were sharp. Hurt, but sharp. "Who are you?" he asked. "Clara Whitmore." The old man's face changed at once. He tried to close the door, but Clara pushed her hand against it. "Please," she said. "I am Nathaniel Whitmore's daughter." Eli stared at her. For a long moment he said nothing. Then his eyes filled with tears. "You have his eyes," he whispered. He opened the door. Inside, the shack smelled of smoke, leather, and old whiskey. Clara saw a cold fireplace, a wooden chair, and a small bed covered with a torn blanket. On the wall hung a hammer so old the handle had gone black. Eli sat down slowly. "I wondered when the past would come walking back," he said. Clara took the rope from her bag and placed it on the table. Eli stared at it like it was a dead man's face. "That was not supposed to leave this town," he whispered. "My mother had it. She must have taken it after the hanging." Clara's voice shook. "Tell me what happened." Eli rubbed both hands over his face. "I built the gallows," he said. "God forgive me. I built the thing that killed your father. But I did not know. I thought he was guilty like everybody else." "He wasn't." "No," Eli said. "He wasn't." Clara's breath caught. Eli leaned forward. "Your father was a bookkeeper for the mine for a short time. He found that money was being stolen before payroll even arrived. Not by bandits, not by poor miners, by the men at the top. Pike, Bell, and Crow," Clara said. Eli's head snapped up. "Who told you?" She turned the wooden tag and showed him the initials. Eli touched the burned marks with a shaking finger. "He did that," he whispered. "My father?" Eli nodded. "On the morning they took him, he asked me for a hot nail from the forge. I thought he wanted to pray over something. Instead, while they were dragging him away, he burned those initials into the tag. He said, 'One day, my girl will know where to look.'" Clara covered her mouth. Her father had thought of her, even while he was being taken to die. Eli continued, his voice low. "They held a quick trial. Too quick. Judge Pike said the proof was clear. Sheriff Bell said he found stolen money near your father's bag. Silas Crow showed false bank papers. The town was angry. People believed them because hunger makes people blind." Clara wiped her tears with the back of her hand. "Did anyone try to stop it?" "I did," Eli said. "Too late. Right before the hanging, your father shouted that the real record book was hidden. He said it would prove everything." Clara sat up. "Where?" Eli looked toward the window. "That is the part I never knew." Clara's hope fell. "But I know who did," Eli said. "Who?" "A miner named Thomas Vale. He was your father's friend. He helped him hide the book. But Vale died in a mine cave-in 2 days after the hanging." Clara's stomach turned cold. "An accident?" Eli's eyes darkened. "That is what they called it." Clara stood and began pacing. "So the proof is gone?" "Maybe not," Eli said. She turned back. Eli rose slowly and went to a loose brick near the fireplace. He pulled it out. Behind it was a small folded piece of paper, brown with age. "I should have burned this," he said. "But guilt is a strange thing. Sometimes it makes a man keep the very thing that can destroy him." He handed the paper to Clara. It was a rough map, a drawing of black ash, the mine office, the church, the jail, and one mark near the old cemetery, a small X beside a grave. Clara looked closer. Beside the X was one name, T. Vale. "Thomas Vale. The record book may be buried with him," Eli said. "Your father trusted Vale. If Vale knew men were coming for him, he may have hidden it where no one would dare dig." Clara folded the map with shaking hands. For the first time since her mother died, she felt something stronger than grief. Hope. Then a horse snorted outside. Eli grabbed her arm. "Get down." Clara ducked beside the table. Through a crack in the wall, she saw Sheriff Bell's horse standing outside. Then Bell's voice came through the door. "Eli," he called. "You got company?" Eli looked at Clara. His face was full of fear. Clara clutched the map to her chest, and in that moment, she understood the truth was not buried because it was dead. It was buried because powerful men were still willing to kill for it. Sheriff Amos Bell stood outside Eli Boone's shack, with one hand resting on his gun. Clara stayed low beside the table. Her heart beat so hard she thought the sheriff would hear it through the walls. Eli's face had gone pale. The old man looked at the door, then at Clara, then at the folded map in her hand. "Hide it," he mouthed. Clara pushed the map inside her dress pocket and held her breath. Bell knocked once. It was not a kind knock. It was the kind of knock that said a man could break the door if he wanted to. "Eli," Bell called again. "Open up." Eli wiped his mouth with the back of his hand. Then he grabbed an old bottle from the table and opened the door just wide enough to show his face. "What do you want, Sheriff?" Eli asked, trying to sound drunk. Bell looked over his shoulder. "Thought I saw that Whitmore girl coming this way." Eli gave a dry laugh. "You think any young woman wants to visit an old drunk like me?" Bell did not laugh. His eyes moved past Eli, searching the room. Clara pressed herself harder against the wall. For one terrible second, Bell's eyes seemed to stop right where she hid. Then Eli stumbled forward and blocked his view. "You come to arrest me for breathing?" Eli said. Bell grabbed him by the shirt. "Listen to me, old man," he said. "If that girl comes asking questions, you say nothing. You hear me? Some names need to stay dead." Eli looked at him with tired eyes. "Dead men don't scare you, Sheriff." Bell's face tightened. "No," he said, "but living women with foolish courage can become dead too." Clara felt ice run through her body. Bell pushed Eli back and walked away. They waited until the sound of his horse faded. Then Eli shut the door and leaned against it. "You must leave town now," he said. "No," Clara whispered. "Not without that book." Eli shook his head. "If Bell saw you here, he will watch the cemetery. Then I will go at night." "Child, this is not a game." "I know," Clara said. "My father died because no one was brave enough to stand with him. I will not make the same mistake." Eli looked at her for a long time. Then something in his face changed. Maybe it was shame. Maybe it was love for a dead friend. Maybe it was a man finally getting tired of being afraid. "I will help you," he said. That night, the moon was thin and white. Black Ash Town looked dead under the dark sky. The saloon was still noisy, but the rest of the street was quiet. Clara and Eli moved behind the old church, keeping low near the fence. The cemetery sat on a small hill behind town. Most of the graves had old wooden crosses. Some names were gone from the weather. Some graves had no names at all. Eli carried a shovel. Clara carried the rope. She did not know why she brought it. Maybe because it had started everything. Maybe because she felt her father was walking with her through that terrible darkness. They found Thomas Vale's grave near a crooked cedar tree. The name was carved badly into a wooden marker. T. Vale. Eli looked around. "No lantern," he whispered. "Too much light." So they dug by moonlight. The ground was hard. Each sound felt too loud. The shovel hitting dirt, Clara breathing, Eli grunting as he worked. After a while, Clara took the shovel from him. Her hands blistered. Her dress got covered in dirt. Her arms burned, but she did not stop. At last, the shovel struck wood. Clara froze. Eli knelt down and cleared the dirt with his hands. They opened the old coffin lid just enough to see inside. Clara looked away at first. She did not want to see death. But Eli reached in and pulled out a small metal box wrapped in rotten cloth. The box was locked, but the lock was weak with age. Eli broke it with the shovel edge. Inside was a leather record book. Clara's hands trembled as she opened it. Names, numbers, dates, payments. But not just mine payments. There were notes written by her father. Judge Pike approved false charges. Sheriff Bell moved stolen payroll through the jailhouse. Silas Crow hid the money in bank accounts under dead miners' names. Clara's eyes filled with tears. Her father had written it all down. He had known the truth. Then a paper slipped from the back of the book. It was a letter. Clara knew the handwriting from the note under the floor. Her mother's handwriting. Clara's heart twisted. She opened it slowly. "My dear Nathaniel, I am afraid. They came to the cabin today. They told me if you do not stop, they will call you a thief. They said they will take you from me and Clara. But I know you. I know you cannot watch poor men lose their pay while rich men smile. If anything happens, I will protect our child. I will keep the rope if I must. I will keep the shame until one day truth is strong enough to carry it." Clara pressed the letter to her chest. Her mother had not been weak. Her mother had not simply hidden. She had survived. She had carried fear so Clara could grow up. For the first time, Clara understood something painful. Sometimes silence was not cowardice. Sometimes silence was a mother standing between her child and danger. But silence could not last forever. Suddenly, Eli grabbed Clara's arm. "Someone is coming!" Lantern light moved between the graves. Then another. Then another. Sheriff Bell stepped into the cemetery with 4 armed men behind him. Judge Pike came next, wrapped in a dark coat. Mayor Crow stood beside him, looking angry and afraid. Bell raised his gun. "Put the book down," he said. Clara stood slowly, holding the record book against her chest. "No," Bell laughed. "You think paper can save you." "No," Clara said. "But truth can." Judge Pike stepped forward. His voice was calm, but his eyes were cruel. "Your father was a thief. Your mother was a frightened woman. And you are a foolish girl digging up graves." Clara looked at him. "My father wrote everything." Crow's face twitched. Bell pointed the gun harder. "Give it here." Eli stepped in front of Clara. "You already killed one innocent man," he said. "You'll have to kill me before you touch his daughter." Bell sneered. "That can be arranged." Then a voice came from behind the cemetery wall. "No, Sheriff." "It can't." Mrs. Lottie stepped out holding a lantern. Behind her came the store clerk, then the saloon cook, then miners' widows, then old men who had watched Nathaniel die. One by one, townspeople came into the cemetery. They had heard enough. They had hidden long enough. Bell looked around, shocked. "Go home!" he shouted. "This is the law's business." Mrs. Lottie lifted her chin. "No," she said. "This is our shame." Clara looked at the faces around her. Some were crying, some were afraid, but they stayed. Judge Pike tried to speak. "These are lies from a dead man." Clara held up the rope. "My father's name was burned into this tag," she said, "and so were your initials." The crowd began to whisper. Then Eli took the record book and read out loud. He read the dates. He read the stolen amounts. He read the names of the men who were blamed, beaten, or driven out because they asked questions. With every word, the powerful men seemed to grow smaller. Mayor Crow turned to run. 2 miners grabbed him. Sheriff Bell lifted his gun, but before he could fire, Mrs. Lottie hit his wrist with a lantern pole. The gun fell into the dirt. Eli picked it up. Bell stared at him. "You old fool," Bell said. Eli's voice shook, but he did not lower the gun. "No," he said. "I was an old coward. Not anymore." By morning, a rider had been sent to the county marshal. Judge Pike, Sheriff Bell, and Mayor Crow were locked in the same jailhouse they had used to scare innocent people for years. The town gathered in the street at noon. The same hour Nathaniel Whitmore had been hanged. Clara stood where the old gallows once stood. The wood was gone now, but people still knew the place. She held the rope in both hands. For years, that rope had meant shame. It had meant fear. It had meant one family's pain. But now everyone saw it differently. It was not just the rope that killed Nathaniel Whitmore. It was the rope that proved he had been telling the truth. Clara looked at the crowd. "I came here thinking I needed revenge," she said. "I thought justice meant watching the guilty suffer. But now I know something else." Her voice broke, but she kept going. "My father died because greedy men lied. But he also died because good people stayed quiet. Fear helped them. Silence protected them. So let this town remember, evil men are dangerous, but silent good people can help evil win." No one spoke. Then Mrs. Lottie began to cry. "I am sorry," she whispered. One by one, others said it too. "We are sorry. We should have spoken. We knew something was wrong." Clara closed her eyes. The words could not bring her father back. They could not give her mother peaceful years. But they gave Nathaniel Whitmore something he had been denied for too long. His name. His good name. Weeks later, a new marker was placed in the cemetery. Not near the hidden grave. Not behind the church. Right in the front, where everyone could see it. Nathaniel Whitmore, an honest man hanged by lies. Remember him, and speak when truth is in danger. Clara stood before the marker with her mother's letter in her pocket. Eli stood beside her. Mrs. Lottie placed fresh flowers near the stone. The old rope was no longer hidden under floorboards. Clara placed it inside the town hall, locked in a glass case with the record book and the burned wooden tag. Not to honor death, but to warn the living. Because sometimes the ugliest thing left behind by a family is not a curse. Sometimes it is the only proof that love, truth, and courage survived longer than fear. And from that day on, when people passed through Black Ash Town and asked about the old hanging rope, the townsfolk did not whisper anymore. They told the whole story. They told how a young woman came with grief in her heart, dirt on her dress, and her father's name in her hands. They told how she made a town face its sin. And they told their children the lesson Clara Whitmore left behind. A lie can rule a town for many years, but the truth only needs one brave voice to rise again.